Welcome to Arizona. Welcome to Elk Country. Welcome to my home. And welcome to this incredible adventure. You know, after serving our country for nearly 10 years as an officer in the United States Air Force, I've learned there's no better way to honor our veterans, our war dead, and those that are serving now than to make sure we celebrate freedom at every opportunity we get. This week, we're celebrating freedom my favorite way, by chasing Arizona giant bull elk with my bow. You know, this is a real special homecoming episode for me. Not only am I hunting elk in the backyard where I learned how to hunt, but I'm hunting it with Greg, Jerry, Jeff, some of the people that introduced me to bow hunting 3 decades ago. It's an incredible 2 weeks, and I hope you'll enjoy it half as much as I did.
So we're heading into camp, and I thought, what a better way to get Nick excited about this hunt than show him a real special place. So we made a little extra drive, came over here, and I thought, maybe there'd be 30, 40 elk in the field. There's about 500 elk in the field right now and some really good bulls. So we just got back to camp. It's Monday evening, and Jerry got his deer out of here Saturday afternoon, so we took a day to regroup and get all the equipment back up here. And as you can hear the beeping in the background, that's raw, it's real. Somebody's come into camp, and they've robbed both our trailers. They've taken my generator at a minimum, and broken Jerry's glass and screen on his camper. I don't know what's taken out of there yet. I only took a peek, but you know, I guess you control what you can control and this we can't control, but pretty tough start. They're not gonna rain on our parade, but this stinks right now.
So as an Arizona outfitter, as you can imagine, I've got dozens and dozens of trail cameras out. And I'm not ashamed to admit, I had a few of them out for myself and Greg for this elk hunt. And wouldn't you know, we found a bull that we instantly named Crazy. And as you'll see in the pictures, he really is crazy.
Jerry this morning went and checked the trail cameras for Greg and I, and there's the goofiest bull you've ever seen in here. He's a normal small 6 on one side, but his right side's got like a 30-inch G1 eye guard, and then like a 35-inch main beam, and that's it. I don't know if I want to kill him, but I certainly want to show him to you at home. He's a neat bull, and he's been in this area and he's been bugling, so it's about 2 o'clock. We'll go see if we can find him.
And sure enough, he was the bugler right below us at 250 yards when we got in position.
That's them, and that crazy bull is in there. This is so awesome. We hope to find that thing tonight, and he is even crazier in person than he is on the trail camera footage. see, our first night in Arizona hunting bull elk has been awesome. We probably could have filmed more calling and other rutting activity, raking a tree and things like that to bring him in, but we're gonna leave him undisturbed. He's literally got like a 30-inch eye guard and then a main beam that's probably 35 inches, and then he's a regular 6-point on his left side. And there he is, bugling and saying goodnight to us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Days 2 and 3, we did have some encounters and got to pass on some younger bulls. But by day 4, it was game on and we were in the big ones.
So it's 4 in the morning of our Arizona elk hunt here, and walking in, we spooked some elk. They say they heard us, and there's a bull with that group. There's 2 bugling right now. We just made a big swing to try and get the wind right on both of them. And we're going to go try and get eyes on them. We're going to stay real close together and see if we can sneak in. They're bugling decent this morning, but there's a lot of road noise, so a lot of hunters getting out to the field pretty late, but there he is again. So now the 2 bulls are closer together, so that's good. He's a beautiful bull. He's just too small on top. I want to see this one. This guy's just too small on his fourth. The only thing good is his royal. That one was too small on top. This other one's right here. I'm just gonna get right here and do it all over again. They're coming right in. Oh, that was pretty impressive, Dan. Cool. Let's get right in. Hey, he's gonna come in. Let's get set up again. yards, those cows picked us up. The bull kind of went around these trees. I thought I was going to get to smoke, and another bull bugle, and those cows went right up to him. This guy's right above us now, but I don't have a shot here. Oh, that was so exciting. So close.
So as you can tell by all the noise, we're back at camp. We had a great hunt, and one of my favorite things to do in hunting camp is have big breakfast. You know, everything tastes better in the woods, and this morning's eggs, bacon, and coffee is no different. The next couple days were pretty steady by Arizona elk hunting standards.
So there goes Crazy with his cows. All right, I think we got some elk coming in, Dan. Just seen some movement up there.
There was a place we had nicknamed the Meadow, and it seemed like if everywhere else was slow, the meadow would be hot. So we were looking forward to going back there. The morning of day 8 may haunt me for a long time. Don't get me wrong, it was beautiful and the elk were all around us. We had a small group come by with a 5x5 and a really large group of elk come by to our right at about 90 yards. We knew we didn't want the 5x5, so we took off to the herd to our right. As we were making our stalk, there was this huge crash, and we knew right away 2 of the dominant bulls in the area were having a fight to the bitter end. We got set up, we were in position, we had the wind, but unfortunately, he came out at 90 yards. And at 90 yards, I'm just not going to take that shot.
Only in America, baby.
This is Dan and Nick's Tech Tip of the Week. If you're serious about killing big bull elk, you always have to start corn blind right before you go out hunting. If you're serious. If you're not serious, do whatever you want. But if you are serious, you need to play this.
It's the 11th night of our hunt, and the elk are already on their feet. There's a spike right here in front of us. There's a bull bugling to the south, so it should make for an exciting evening. Three different bulls bugling. One's got a great rub line right here. I think we're gonna try and set up on a light call and not push it, but see if he'll come down the hill. Sounds like he might be on his feet.
Well, the evening of day 11 could only be described one way. It was bugle mania. But a highlight of the evening had to be when we stalked 2 mature 6x6s who were fighting down a ridge, and after the fight broke and the woods settled down, we ended up making a stalk on a large satellite bull.
Trees right here. Look over the end of the trunk with your naked eye. He's coming out in the field.
And as we're getting closer and closer, and we're pretty optimistic we were going to shoot this bull, another hunter absolutely blew him out of the woods.
So plan B failed, got pushed out by another hunter, so let's see if we have a plan C. Probably not for tonight.
You know, as I always tell my Arizona hunting clients, if you put in the time and the energy, eventually one of these Arizona giants will make a mistake. And come day 13, it was our turn to be in the right place at the right time.
Right here, I think there's 2 bulls within 100 yards. I think we'll be able to close in on both of them and see what... Shh. They're fighting. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Right there, right there. There he is right there. You see the top of his antlers, he's coming right to us. Smoked him. I'm pretty sure we just smoked that bull. Not 100% sure. It's day 13, lucky number 13 in my family. This bull came out and was bugling and bugling. We had to come through this opening in the dark. It was real nerve-wracking. We didn't have enough camera light. He came out at like 55, 60 yards, and every time I was getting ready to draw it, there was just this little pine sapling. You'll see it on the tape. Finally came out and he looked at us. I'm like, oh my God, we're so busted. And then he looked up, down, and started feeding him like, we're okay. And then boom, he picked up and he's sniffing. I'm like, oh, this is over. And then he turned around and he walked down the hill and I just drew. I had the range, nice easy squeeze. My 4 things, range, aim point, release, follow through. And I think I saw that nocturnal dive in right behind his shoulder. So as an ethical bow hunter, despite my desire to run over there and grab that Easton arrow, I'm gonna wait for at least 45 minutes to an hour before I even move. We're gonna check the tape. I think it's a good hit. But since we have to kill some time, what a better way to do it than to try and call in another elk. There's one just screaming his head off up here. The sun's just barely hitting the top of the trees. And we're gonna try and call in this bull and get you some great footage. Well, we've waited just over an hour and the elk are still bugling. We've had a chance to watch the video. Looks like a decent hit. Top of the shoulder, maybe a little far forward, but I think that rage is going to do its job. We're going to slip down the hill here to the arrow site, and depending on what the arrow looks like, because we think we got a clean pass through. Sorry, the elk are interrupting our conversation. Depending on what the arrow looks like, we'll decide if we're going to pursue now or come back later. We've tracked the bull by blood and tracks for maybe 100 yards. And although there's not a lot of blood, I feel good about what we are seeing. Heavy tracks, a lot of forward-moving energy. We're in a spot where it'd be likely to bed down. The wind's kind of swirling. It hurts, but we're going to back out, go have breakfast with the team, and come back in a few hours.
That evening, we went back and tracked that bull until dark, and we were still on blood. About halfway through our tracking job, we found our arrow and noticed the penetration was only about 10 inches down the shaft. It was cause for concern, but we were on blood, so there was hope. The next morning, we tracked that bull for another 7 hours. He went about 350 yards, and we absolutely ran out of blood. We were on our hands and knees, finding only pin drops of blood. The only conclusion we could come to was that this bull is going to survive to live another year. You know, I was literally sick that we didn't find that bull, but I knew we had done everything in our power to make an ethical tracking job on him. It was a disappointing way to end the hunt, but it did give us an extra day to hunt with Greg. And you know what they say, a photo's worth more than 1,000 words. Just look how our season ended with Greg on an Arizona book giant elk. You know, we experienced an incredible 14 days hunting Arizona giant bull elk. It's a hunt I'll never forget. And it had all the highs and all the lows you'd expect to have a fair chase elk hunt, and it covered all the gamuts. At the end of the day, I was surrounded by people I care about, family and friends, for the most part experienced beautiful weather, and it just shows again why celebrating freedom through bow hunting is one of my favorite pastimes.
Here's a little friendly note from your friend Dan. Don't ever eat a block of cheese about that big and and 2 grape sodas before you go hunting, ever. It's never going to be a good idea, no matter what you think.
Day 11 could only be described in one word: bugle mania. Good point. There's an outtake.
Well, you know, the cameraman always gets thrown under the bus, and this will be no exception. I totally blame Nick for that encounter because apparently the school he went to in Wisconsin doesn't teach you how to hide from an elk at under 5 yards, and obviously the herd spooked, so clearly Nick's fault this morning, but we forgive him. I don't like Dan Adler. He needs to be fired.
Why don't you talk about our food selection for this trip, since we're so,
So, Nick came a long way from Wisconsin, and we wanted to make sure he got a real taste of how we eat out here. So we've got 14 nights of elk hunting. We've got 4 nights of deer hunting, and then we have 3 more nights in a different elk camp. So strategically, we went to Costco and made sure we picked up every single variety of Campbell's Chunky soup they have, because only the best for Nick. And every night he gets his choice of what type of soup he wants, and that's what we eat.
All right, I think we got some elk coming in. Dan just seen some movement up there. That's good. I can hear Jerry over there. He's having his afternoon burping blast. Right on schedule. Any words of wisdom, Jerry?
No.
Thank you, Eric. That's a wrap. I think that's a print.
Contact Dan Adler and Diamond Outfitters of Arizona right away to book your hunt. As you can see, he is an expert elk hunter, and so are his guides. To book an incredible experience like this one, call 520-730-8147 or visit them online at azdiamondoutfitters.com. You don't want to wait, they fill up fast.